Don't just do something to do something.
Yeah.
Do it to be the best that ever did it.
What demons are you dealing with today?
They asked me to my face, they're like, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to be a doctor. In that moment, they said, why would you wait 10 years to help your first person when you could start today? And everything changed that day. You'll lose your car. You'll let your parents down. Like, what if you don't make enough revenue? What if it doesn't work out? And I held on to that fear so long until that moment. He goes, has God not given you everything you've ever asked for?
What advice do you have for them when they're just getting started?
Don't start a business. Go work for the business that's doing something that you want to go do and be the best that ever did it.
Right.
Make yourself invaluable.
What kind of legacy do you want to leave here when you die?
I want to be the guy that cracked the code and never held the secret.
All right, we got Camron Johnson on the show today.
Can we do that? I'm
Content
sorry,
creator.
I was looking at this. Trying to get comfortable here.
We're gonna air that actually.
Okay.
We're just gonna air it all. Content creator, marketer, sales. Did I miss anything?
Tower climber.
Dude, tower climber. Let's go right into that. Like,
Yeah.
tower. What even is that?
Yeah, man. So I moved back from Florida and I had an idea to start a creative business. And the first thing that I did, I looked up to my dad and I was like, hey, you climb towers still. Like, let me get in there. Let me climb. Let me work 80 hours a week, make as much money as possible, as quickly as possible, and buy my first pieces of camera equipment. So I dived into climbing towers. And what a life.
Dude,
genuinely.
that's crazy. Like, explain to me, like, how tall are these towers? Why are you climbing them? What is the job?
Yeah. So the towers can range from 100 feet on a Monday to 1,500 feet on a Friday.
That's sick.
Right. And my job was to go up there and fix what was broken. So I worked for the Coast Guard. I was a contractor. I wasn't in the military. And they paid me to climb the towers, to do maintenance and to replace things so that the equipment worked properly. And we would get calls at like 2 a.m. and we'd have to like drive out, fly out instantly and get there.
Crazy.
Because when those towers go down, nobody can call for help for about 80-mile radius.
Crazy.
And until we fix that tower, everything's compromised.
So I take it you were not afraid of heights.
Oh, I'm terrified of heights.
Are you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm terrified.
So was that like a fun job to you or what?
Dude, it was become a man job,
Okay.
right? It was let me get my life together. Let me do what my dad did to earn that respect. And I loved it. You know, when I looked down, I'd get a pit in my stomach.
Yeah.
You know, when I'd look up, I'd get excited.
That's sick.
You know?
Bro.
The best part is like when you wake up and it's like 5 a.m. and you're like, oh, you get to the base of the tower
Right.
and you look up, you can't even see the top.
Do people die doing that job?
People have died before, but it's because of negligence when it comes to safety.
Just a lack of awareness, basically.
Yeah, lack of safety.
Yeah.
Maybe they got lazy, you know, but
maybe they're hungover, didn't sleep that well the night before, whatever it was.
oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
everybody.
And how old are you right now, by the way?
I'm 23 as
23.
of last month.
Oh, dang. Okay, cool. So how long ago was that, and what did tower climbing lead you into? You said you bought your first camera, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So the first time I ever climbed a cell phone tower was March 8th of 2023. And the first time I was a creative director and I got signed to a 9-figure business was March 8th of 2024. Right?
Dang.
So exactly 365 days from my first tower to my first day doing what I wanted to do when I set out to do that.
Was that always the dream? To like become a content creator, sales, marketing?
So my first dream ever was to become a doctor. You know, like
Interesting.
I grew up phalanges, reading microbiology, avoiding lake water because I saw it under a microscope. You know, like that was me. Made straight A's, was a goofball. And then one day I met a group of young entrepreneurs
Sure.
in downtown Nashville, high-rise apartment. My friend came from a broke family and ended up in that place. And I was like, how did you get there? And that was the first time I ever truly realized the power of starting your own business and becoming your own leader and servicing a community. And I fell in love with it overnight. I had just had my first bodybuilding competition and I was 17.
Crazy.
2 days before I met these guys. And when I met them, they asked me to my face, they're like, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to be a doctor. They're like, why? I was like, because I want to help people.
Sure.
And they went, why? And I was like, because I want to make money. And they're like, how much money? I was like, it'd be nice to make a couple $100K a year. They're like, why?
Yeah.
I was like, I want to take care of my family. They're like, why? And I was like, dude, I just want to buy the things I could never have growing up, right? And I want to give that to my family. I want to give that to my kids, you know? And in that moment, they said, why would you wait 10 years to help your first person when you could start today? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, you just stepped on stage and went from malnourished 97 pounds to 147 and got second place in a bodybuilding competition in Team Physique. Why don't you just go be a personal trainer and help people fix their health? Because when they fix their health, it's going to fix their family, and you're going to be able to help thousands of lives over the next 10 years and make a living.
Yeah.
And everything changed that day.
That's crazy, bro. So it seems like you do a lot of like adrenaline seeking things, climbing towers, bodybuilding, anything else?
Oh,
Is your life just like full of like those kinds of things?
I would say that I don't say no to challenges.
Yeah.
Right? I seek challenge because ever since I hopped off that bandwagon of I'm going to college, every day it's been like, how do I make sure that what I'm doing is worth it in the end? And like, I have the most amazing opportunities come to me. I love rappelling. Just went last week. Threw a rope off a cliff, swung down that rope.
That's sick.
Into a cave.
Yeah.
I love kayaking. I love hiking. I just love being out in the world. And I would say that I'm a adrenaline seeker.
Yeah.
Do I wake up in the morning and say I want to do something dangerous today? No.
Once in a while, maybe.
Yeah, every once in a while, I'll wake up and just go find something to do.
Why do you think that is?
That's a good question. You know, I think I'm a little crazy,
Yeah.
honestly. Like the things I've seen that are possible that people say are impossible, the amount of fun that I see people having when they own a business. I don't know, man.
Yeah. A little psycho.
Yeah, a little bit crazy. A little crazy there. I wouldn't say I'm normal. I mean, I did climb towers and smile the entire time.
I think we all are to a degree.
Yeah.
It seems like you have just like a crazy amount of energy, like never ending, super extroverted, just like on top of it, really talkative. Were you always like that?
Dude, I've always been like that.
Yeah.
I grew up, I was in the back of the class. I made great grades, but everybody thought I was failing because I was always just cracking jokes. I was the jokester. You know, I've always been like that. You know, teachers would send me home with like my report on my behavior is he talks too much.
Yeah.
He makes too many jokes in class. He's distracting, you know.
Like, yeah, that's me.
That's me, you know. I can't help but just talk about the things that I love.
Right.
And just be happy. I mean, I'm so grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be in Tennessee. You know, I'm grateful to be around such great people and to have such great opportunities. And I don't know, man. I mean, I guess just sharing what I've learned, sharing what's on my mind is really important to me for my mental health. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to talk about?
I love talking about my failures. Like, most of my best friends, and I really do mean this, like as a 23-year-old, the people that I love the most in my life, they're in their 40s. And I love talking about my failures because I'm so young that people don't look down on me. But instead, I can go to people who are like 40 years old, talk to them about my failures. They'll tell me about their failures, and I can learn from that, right? And like that's when I truly grow, is when I can let go of the embarrassment of my past mistakes and be able to ask for help going forward.
That's big. What would you say your biggest failure is to this date?
Oh, that's a good one.
Walked yourself right into that one, huh?
Leadership. I would say leadership's my biggest failure. And leadership and focus.
Why would you say that?
I have started, this is going to hurt. I have started and successfully was like, this is going to work for 4 different business models.
Got you. So you failed 4 times so far.
Yeah,
I can relate.
I failed 4 businesses.
This is my 4th business as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you don't get it the first time, bro. A lot of people don't realize that.
You know, I realized that I could have got it the first
Yeah.
time if I had strategic focus and if I was a better leader.
Well, really, you just needed to fail more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's hard to swallow that pill. Your ego doesn't want to swallow that pill. You're like, yo, I could have done it differently, but it's just like you had to walk through those things.
Yeah, and you know, I have this like ritual, and it's like every year around March 8th, I'll just get on my knees and pray. And I'll do nothing all day.
Yeah.
But do what I need to do to let go of everything that's happened that year that I thought I was going to achieve, that I thought I was, so that I can move on.
Yeah.
And every time I've ever let go, something really great has happened in my life. And March 8th is just such a lucky date for me. And every year my life changes.
March 8th. Like, what is the significance of that?
March 8th is a few days before my birthday.
Okay.
But I climbed my first tower March 8th of 2023. And then March 8th of 2024, I spoke in Medellin, Colombia for the first time on content. First time I've ever stepped out and owned something and wasn't embarrassed to own it or felt some type of way about talking about it.
Right.
And then March 8th of 2025, I pitched 30K and close. You know, and it's just so incredible to be able.
Wait, we just passed March 8th, right? It's like,
Yeah.
So what like last time you pitched 30K and closed?
Pitch 30K and close.
Okay.
No price objections. Is
Nice.
that it?
Perfect, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow. What exactly do you do like nowadays? Like what is your offer, so to speak? Like what do you offer the world?
So it all goes back to my mission when I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to help people. And I realized that being a personal trainer, I could help people and help families. But I realized the fastest way to helping 1 million people isn't personal training. It's teaming up with really successful people to help them with their mission. What I do currently, I partner with very successful CEOs and entrepreneurs who have established businesses. I come in, I help them create engaging content that nurtures their prospects. And then we run ads behind that and we create conversions for the businesses and we help scale them. And my business model works in a sense of I actually only get paid off of performance. So when I make somebody $100K, they cut me a check.
Right. That's easy, man. What kind of content do you like? You sit them down, you bring your camera, what kind of content do you create for them?
Just like this, you know, we sit them down in a chair. They talk about their life story.
Right.
We make that into content. We move them into a different set, and then we have them drop value. Like, hey, don't do this if you're trying to achieve this. Here's why, because I failed trying that same exact thing, but here's what I learned. Do this tomorrow, right?
Yeah, so there's a lot of people that do exactly what you do. What makes you different?
So I say what makes me different is the fact that I'm a content creator. I didn't just start this and say, oh, I'm just going to run ads, right? There's 2 different places that I see inside my industry. One, you run ads. The other side, we make content, right? So what makes me special is I'm a content creator first and a marketer last. And we combine those 2 skills together and it just fills in the blanks because most people are running ads right now, but what they don't have is a personal brand. So people don't recognize them. And what we do is when we team up with our clients, they have a personal brand and people are recognizing them and they're attracting clients. And whenever I leave or if anything ever happens where our partnership ends, my clients have a brand. They continue to get clients because people have recognized them versus other people in the marketing industry. When you stop working with them, they disappear and so does everybody and all the lead flow. And here's an example just to go full circle. Most marketing agencies will throw up a graphic and run it. And then once you stop working with them, they take that graphic down, they disappear and people stop coming to you. When you work with Turn Marketing or myself, what we do is we build a personal brand and we put you at the forefront of your marketing so people begin to recognize you. So if I were to disappear tomorrow, people still know who you are and they recommend you because they've been spending time with you through
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah. What kind of results have you gotten for people?
Yeah. So I worked with a tax lady, and her name is Dejana Self. She made $1.6 million in her first 6 months of working with me. And that's the first time I ever took content and merged it with marketing through social media ads. And my first month, we fell on our face. The second month, we broke 100K. Third month, it scaled even crazier, and we weren't even spending much. And I think that was the first moment I realized the power of combining content with ads.
What would you say your dream? What's like the dream outcome? Where are you trying to go and take all this?
That's a really good question.
Welcome to the podcast house. We're located in Franklin, Tennessee.
We're a fully done for you podcast studio where you come in, talk, and we take care of everything else.
Podcast house is operated by podcasters and filmmakers.
Podcast House is for anybody who has a vision for a message that they want to get out there.
Some people, they just always wanted a podcast. They see people like Joe Rogan and George Janko and Chris Willix, and they're like, I want to be like that. And Podcast House gives you an opportunity to become like those guys, to give you a platform, to give you a voice, to share your story.
So we record the full podcast, we offer editing, we offer short form content, we offer YouTube thumbnails, pretty much anything that you can think of in the podcasting realm, we offer.
We've worked with people that literally just get started with their podcast, and then we've also worked with celebrities like Michael Chandler and Haley Welsh and Caitlin Bristow.
It's changing the narrative of what podcast studios are.
When you come in here, it's a homey vibe. It doesn't feel like you're in a studio, but you are in a studio at the same time.
It's quite literally a home. It's a home remade into a podcast studio.
Podcast House is all about taking the headache out of podcasting and giving people a platform for their story and their voice to be heard.
So my dream and the reason why I wake up here today is to set an example for my family and my friends. And where I want to be in my life, where I'm the most fulfilled in this specific season and where I'm at, is 50 to 100K in profit every month, because that gives me enough capital to start investing into other things, buying into businesses to own pieces and parts of them. And then I can focus on helping them scale and then exit. And then I have wealth. My family has wealth. My friends know how to solve their problems, and we're constantly all growing together.
You think there's anything bigger than that?
Of course.
Yeah.
There's always something bigger.
Yeah.
You know, that's my North Star in this moment.
Yeah.
But my absolute dream is to do exactly what my mentor was doing when I signed up and was working with Mint 45, Ryan Nidell. He took a company from $1.6 million into $130 million within 4.5 years. And I watched him go from 70 mil to 130 mil in just 1 year of working with them.
Crazy.
And the reason why I say that is because if my mission is to give back, I have seen it firsthand. And Ryan's goal isn't to just scale this company and exit and make a bunch of money and leave. Everybody who works under that company right now owns shares in the company. So if they sell, if you're making 100K a year, you're going to get 800 grand. And that's enough money to change your life.
For sure.
Right? So I want to come into a company. I want to scale it. I want to make everybody who works under the company a shareholder of the company. And I want to sell that company for $100 to $400 million and give every single family a chance to buy a home, a chance to have the opportunity to say no to the next job that comes along and to say yes to the right things so that they can live the lives that they truly deserve. Because not everybody wants to be a business owner. No. Not everybody has the grit to be a leader. Right. Some people are just really damn good at engineering and they love solving those problems.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. What do you value the most in life?
Dude, I love it. I value my mother. Genuinely. Like, my relationship with my mom is so special. And my relationship with my family. Like, I feel like everybody says that, though. Like, I value my family the most out of anything. Honestly, I'm just out here trying to make my family proud. That's it.
No, it's really cool that you say your mom. Like, that's the first thing that came to mind. What was the first memory you ever had with your mom?
This is going to be really funny. So, in middle school, I took this class called, like, high school 101, and it was like sex ed, things like that. My teacher asked us what did we want to be, and went one by one, and I said I wanted to be a doctor, and she laughed at me and said I'll never do it. I went home, told my mom. My mom went up to that school, told that teacher she was gonna beat the brakes off of her, and that I was gonna be a damn doctor.
I guess she was wrong, but commends to your mom, bro.
Dude, I love her.
Badass mom.
She defends me no matter what.
Yeah, what are like some of the key lessons that you've gotten from your mom?
So my mom's a hospice nurse, and she
Okay.
takes care of people that are passing.
That's why you wanted to become a doctor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's like to have compassion for people, even if you don't know who they are, or even if they're mean to you, they just don't know you well enough.
Yeah.
You know, and my mom's a hospice nurse. She takes care of people that are on their way out, and she finds people that haven't had their face shaved in years, people that don't have any family, and she becomes their family, and she holds their hand until the day that they shut their eyes and they go to the heavens.
That's crazy, man.
And my father is the hardest working man I've ever met in my life. Is he wealthy? No, he's not. And that's because he just works way too hard, and he only knows hard work. He's climbed towers for 15 years, had 2 knee replacements because of it, and he still showed up and worked hard for his family. And after me climbing towers for a year, I have no idea how I would have made it 15.
Mad respect, bro.
Mad respect.
Yeah, so that's the legacy that you came from right there.
Yeah. And a whole family of doctors. I don't talk to any of them, right? Whole family of doctors.
Yeah.
We're just the secluded ones over here.
What would you say is like the number one lesson you've taken from your dad? Just that hard work?
I would
Or is
say,
it like, because he works so hard, it's like, I see that hard work, but I want to apply it somewhere else and like benefit from it more kind of thing?
don't just do something to do something.
Yeah.
Do it to be the best that ever did it. Because following in my dad's footsteps, everybody around me is like, dude, your dad's the hardest working person I've ever met.
Yeah.
He's extremely talented at what he does, and we all look up to him, you know, and it's because he never gave up. He was always the first person to climb the tower and the last person to climb down. He always looked after his friends safety-wise, and he always went above and beyond to learn how to do something he didn't know how to do. And that's just what I've learned from him, is just to be the best at whatever you do and always try your best.
What do you think you could become the best in the world at? What's your superpower?
My superpower is letting go. But if I had to choose one thing to be the absolute best at right now, it would definitely be content marketing. And content marketing for a very specific type of people, coaches and consultants. Building a personal brand is something I've seen firsthand and that I've also done. Running ad campaigns that have hit 7 figures, that's what I've done and I've seen. And I genuinely think that the market is looking into the wrong things. They're so focused on getting clients today, and they're neglecting the previous leads from yesterday, and they're not focused on long-term nurtures. And that's why I want to come in and solve these problems.
I want to go back to what we talked about when I asked you, like, what was your biggest failure? And you said leadership. I want to hit on that and like go into like more detail if you're comfortable with it.
Yeah,
like,
let's do it.
What was it with leadership? Was it like you had people on your team and you just didn't know how to lead them properly, and then like you kind of had to drop that business?
I would say that I had good people on my team, but I just lacked strategic vision. Like I didn't know what I didn't know.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'll even be honest, I also lacked accountability. Right. Something would happen and I would blame it on my team. And instead of blaming it on myself. Right. And it wasn't until I really started sitting back and saying like, hey, like you fucked up this time and it's your fault, that I was able to actually build a process to avoid that next time.
Did you have someone come and tell you that, or you just told yourself that?
Yeah, I lost my first business.
Yeah.
I was working with 2 other CEOs. I mean, makes no sense, right? Like 3
Right.
CEOs, 3 founders of a business.
Yeah.
We teamed up together. I was 17 when I met them in that high rise that I was telling you about. We all decided to pursue our dreams and start a creative business for real estate agents out in Boca Raton, Florida. And we moved there with my Pathfinder, an SUV. 3 guys lived in an SUV for a week until we landed our first client. Then we got our first place.
Right.
And I guess like I lacked the leadership to take charge of what was happening and the accountability to own that we weren't good at something that we thought we were good at.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of business owners that go throughout their entire lives and they don't accept that accountability. and they do exactly what you did in the beginning, but you're aware of it now, so that now that you can fix it.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, that's huge to have that awareness, especially at 23 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I go back to what I said earlier, it was like one of my superpowers is letting go.
Yeah.
My biggest lesson that I could give anybody right now here today is to just let go. Stop trying to strongman everything that you do and expecting tremendous results and learning in the same time. And what I mean by that is, like, when I first started working with Mit 45, I failed. Those guys paid me to be a creative director and to create assets and content, and I was only able to make 4 pieces of content my first week. Only 4. And I had 40 hours to do it, and I could only make 4 pieces of content. I was a horrible editor.
Yeah.
I was a bad videographer, but I knew I wanted to do something. And it wasn't until I sat down and I read a book called 10X is Easier Than 2X that I was actually able to 10X those 4 videos into 40 and then do it again and again. And it wasn't until I let go of 90% of what I was in charge of and put somebody else in place, I wasn't able to 10X. And what my 10X looked like back then was my job was to create as much content as possible.
Right.
So if I wanted to make content, I couldn't edit everything myself. I couldn't just, my 10% unique ability in that moment was shooting, because there was no one else that could shoot. So I mastered shooting, and I brought in an editor. My editor started editing. The week after that, we did 8 videos, and then I brought another editor on, and then we did 16 videos, and then I brought another editor on, and we kept scaling up and up and up, and then we got to our peak efficiency was 144 fully finished, approved, polished, ready to post edits in a single week. And
you just created a system that worked.
Yeah.
And just scaled it from there.
I took 90% of everything and I let go of all of it. I said, let me find people that can do it 70% as good as me or better.
Right.
Put them in place to make decisions. Let go of a little bit of profit, right? And go hard.
Yeah. When I hear the word let go, like, you got to let go of it, and like I feel like you almost have to surrender. When I think about the word surrender, God comes into play. Like, I have to surrender this to God because I can't do it alone. What is your spirituality? What are your thoughts on God? And does God have any play in your life?
I'm a Christian. I've always been a Christian. I'm a bad Christian sometimes, and I'm a good Christian other times. My relationship with God is very personal. It's not directly derived from the church. I still go to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
But let me tell you a story. So one of my best friends, one of the first people like I really saw crushing it in the marketing space, his name is Dean LaGrange, and DTC Paid Ads is his company. Dropping him. He's a great guy. Go shoot him a follow. Look into him. I went to an event called Agency Founders back in 2023. I went to an event called Agency Founders. And at this event, I was there shooting for free. In exchange, I got a ticket. My friend was there getting paid 10 grand to shoot for one of the speakers. My other friend was there on salary getting paid to shoot for his team.
Right.
Out of everybody there, I had the most fun. Out of everybody there, I generally will say I worked the absolute hardest. Out of everybody there, I stayed the most engaged.
Yeah.
But at the end of the night, I walked outside and there was a boot on my car. And I kind of just walked up to it. I looked down at it and I was like, wow, I have $200 in my bank account. And this boot's going to cost me like $125 to get it off. And I got bills due. And just as soon as I thought that, my buddy Dean walks out. And guess what? I have a blue BMW. He also has a BMW, but it's white. He parked right next to me. And he comes out, starts laughing at me. He's like, oh, Cameron, like, look what you've done this time. And he kind of asked me, he just looks at me. He goes, has God not given you everything you've ever asked for? Like, I'll tear up saying this. Like, has God not been there for you when you need him?
Yeah.
And I was like, where's this coming from? He's like, you're living your life on a fence. He's like, when I see you in there, you're smiling, you're happy. You're the most proud to be there out of everyone there, and you work way too freaking hard.
Yeah.
And then you disappear, and I don't see you for a month straight, and you're climbing cell phone towers. He's like, you're living your life on a fence. And I was like, what do you mean I'm living my life on a fence? He was saying, every day that you go back and you climb another cell phone tower, you're denying the gift that God gave you. You're denying the passion that he put into your life. And he's like, your doubt for your own skill and your own ability to achieve great success makes you a weak ass Christian. And like, that's it. Every time people laugh when they hear that, but like, seriously, it took another man calling me a weak ass Christian for me to snap out of it. And he was saying, like, you're living your life on a fence. On one side, God's saying, hey, trust me, come eat dinner with me. Come eat dinner with me. Like, just trust. Like, just trust. I gave you this for a reason. Just trust that you have what it takes to take it to the next level. And on the other side, the devil is telling me, oh, you got to go climb towers because you got to go buy that new DJI gimbal. You got to go buy that new FPV drone before you can be a videographer.
Right.
You know, oh, what if you fail? You'll lose your car. You'll let your parents down. Like, what if you don't make enough revenue? What if it doesn't work out? And I held on to that fear so long until that moment.
Wow.
And after that conversation, I got the boot put off my car. I went home and I cried, bro. I cried my eyes out. My mom had to hold me down because I was just losing it. Like, I had denied myself for a year straight, something that I had like waited patiently for, that I could have done the first day I had the idea.
Yeah. So do you think like God instills dreams and passions into us just instinctively?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that we're all destined for what we pursue. And where that comes from is of God. You got to be careful who you're listening to sometimes, because the devil can throw you different ideas, you know. But genuinely, I do feel like when you commit to something, it becomes your destiny. Right? And the devil will come around and say, hey, you can make more money doing this. You can make more money doing that. You can make more money doing this.
Yeah.
And you got to know your whys and your reasons behind what you're doing, and stick to it long enough to not switch up, or else you'll just be another guy that gave up and tried to do something else just to give up and try to do something else.
Yeah. Amen, bro. What do you think your purpose is, like, right now?
Prove them wrong.
Prove them wrong.
Prove them wrong.
Who wrong?
You know, set the standard.
Who do you want to prove wrong?
Dude, everybody. Everyone that ever said that I have to go to college. Everybody that ever said that I can't make that internet thing work. Everyone that ever said, oh, that silly videography thing you're doing, you know. And even my friends, you know, I want to prove them wrong in the sense of the back of their heads, they feel like they can't do it. I want to prove them wrong. And I want to show them that they can do it. And when I make everything work, it'll be my life's purpose to scream at people until they figure it out.
Yeah. So obviously you had like that God moment.
Yeah.
Like at that event. But the devil still attacks, especially when you get closer to God. Especially when you find your purpose, especially when you're following God's will. What demons are you dealing with today?
My past. The person I thought I was going to be. You know, it's like my friends are getting out of college.
Yeah.
My personal training business didn't work out. You know, my real estate videography business didn't work out because partners and myself. And then my job at Mid 45 didn't work out. Just so much, you know.
What do you have to say to your past self? Like, if you had to give like your past self, say your 20-year-old self, like one piece of advice, like what would you tell that self?
I love you. I'm proud of you. Keep going. You're going to figure it out. Your parents are already proud, and your friends inspired to be with you.
Who do you trust the most, like, in this life right now?
There's a guy named Camron Bingoff. I trust him. I truly do trust him. I've grown up with him. He's lived with me at times. My mom is his mom, essentially. He's my brother. The brother that I never had that I have. And I just know that person will never do me wrong.
So he's a friend of yours? So he's probably one of the closest people in your life. Like, if you trust him that much, where you kind of put him above everybody else.
I think it's funny because, like, we don't talk all the time. We don't hang out all the time.
Interesting.
You know, but I trust him so much.
He's got your 6, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of want to bounce back. I hate to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
But that day that I lost my stuff and like went crazy, I put a 30-day notice in. My dad told me.
Yeah.
He said, dude, put your 30-day notice in right now and don't cry about this a month from now because this is who you're supposed to be. And after 30 days, like that whole 30 days, I became the best tower climber that ever existed. Like I didn't think about any media. I wasn't like, I'm going to free myself. I was like, let's do this.
Right.
Let's lock in. Let's go fix that tower. Let's go now. Like, why wait 30 minutes? Okay, it's raining, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we still have a job to do. After 30 days, I had no idea what I was going to do. Like, I was like, I had no idea. I lacked the knowledge. I lacked the vision. I lacked the how, you know. But I had one thing. I had the ambition to figure it out. And I wasn't going to take no as an answer.
Yeah.
And after 30 days, I sat on my knees. I prayed. I cried a little bit, you know. And 2 days later, I got a call from an entrepreneur, and his name is Ryan Idell, $100 million business owner. Dude is insane, right? He said, I want to know you. I want to get to know you. I was like, who are you? He's like, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get to know you. And I was like, why? He was like, I heard you're the man. I was like, who told you that? And apparently, one of the guys that was shooting with me at that event, I was talking about at Agency Founders, he had passed a job referral down to me because they tried to hire him and he said, no, I know the guy. I know the guy you need.
Yeah.
And they pointed to me.
That's awesome.
And within 2 days of me being unemployed, I had gotten the opportunity I always wanted.
That's crazy.
And then we set up a time for me to fly out a week later or 2 weeks later to just hang out at the office. See if I wanted to go from Nashville, Tennessee to Columbus, Ohio, and if I could find something there that I'd be happy with being there. And within those first 2 weeks, I locked in 2 podcast clients. I was making $4K, $5K, and almost more money than tower climbing. And I had freed myself, but I was working I didn't create a business. I created a job. I was editing everything myself.
Yeah.
I was shooting all by myself. I had all the equipment, luckily. But I went to Ohio and I found out I loved the place. I was inspired. I was like, this is me. I want to be this. That guy looked at me and knew I wasn't shit. He knew I barely knew how to do what I said I wanted to do. But you know what? He looked at me and he believed in me more than I believed in myself. And he gave me that opportunity and that chance. And he asked me to trust him. And I accepted.
Crazy.
I moved. But here's where it goes back to Camron Mingoff. When you ask me who do I trust the most, it's him. So what did I do? I bought this guy a camera. I bought him another camera. And I bought him a third camera. I gave it all to him. And I said, go serve these clients. And he went out and did it. Because at one point, we butted heads. He was like, why are you always flexing on me? Every time I see you, you have a new piece of camera equipment. Then you go climb towers, come back, new piece of camera equipment. And I told him, I was like, brother, I don't put this in front of you to make you feel any type of way. I put it in front of you to inspire you. Right. I was like, you're an artist. You're a creative. I was like, all I ever hope for is that you ask to go do something. And then from that day, he was like, let me go to a job with you and learn what you're doing.
Right.
I brought him out with me and he fell in love with it. And when I got that job, the first person I thought about was Camron Mingoff. I was like, I just showed him something and gave him an incomplete picture and now I'm moving. Right. And I felt really bad. So I called him up, bought him the camera equipment, gave it to him, said, go serve those clients and have fun and you got this. And I left. And I came back a year later and guess who's on top?
Yeah.
Camron Mingoff. He did it.
Oh, damn.
He took the equipment. He served amazing clients.
That's
he
awesome.
does better work than I do sometimes.
Yeah.
Right. And I trust him and I love him and I'm so proud of him.
Right.
And that's just really it.
So you've worked for $100 million company.
Yeah.
What was the biggest lesson you learned working for them?
So my job was the most unconventional, unheard of thing you'll ever hear in your entire life. I was paid to just shoot things like D-Rock with Gary Vee. Say nothing, do nothing but shoot, and then turn it into content. That gave me access to the CEO of the company, and it was just me, the CEO, the executive assistant, and then our athlete manager. It was just 4 of us.
Let's go.
In an office,
Come
right?
on.
And every day, I sat in that room with him while he did all his meetings. I sat in the room when he talked about expenses and whatever. I watched my best friend, like one of my best friends, I watched him buy a GT3 RS and a jet in the same year.
Dang.
And the biggest lesson that he ever gave me was that you know nothing. And what he meant by that is, when I started this business and I was at 1.3 mil, I had no idea what I was doing. It wasn't until he bought consultants that were doing what he wanted to do and inspired to become that he was able to get there to that place. This guy has like 6-7 different like coaches for different things, whether it's health, relationships, like buying businesses, marketing, like how to scale them. And that's the key, man. You got to have a mentor. You can't do it alone.
Can't, bro.
Either one, you have a business partner who's done it before, or two, you go out and buy the best consultant possible that's doing what you want to do, because you're going to get there 10 times faster than if you tried it all alone.
Yeah. So let me paint a picture for you. Someone's 20 years old, dropped out of college. They don't want to do that anymore. They want to start their own business, but they have no idea where to start, what skills to build. Or even just like what to do. Like what advice do you have for them when they're just getting started?
Don't start a business. What you need to do, you're 20 years old, man. Think about it. You're 20 years old. Go work for the business that's doing something that you want to go do and be the best that ever did it.
Right.
Make yourself invaluable. Maybe start off as a setter, and then move into sales. And then as you crush it in sales, start to like try to level up as much as possible, get as far and as deep as possible, get access to everything that you can, and just learn. Be a sponge, soak everything up that you can possibly learn. And then when you're ready, go out and do everything you learned. Like why go start a business and fail 100 times and lose a lot of money when you already don't have the money, when you can just go work for a business, learn from all their past mistakes, adapt their processes, learn exactly how to serve those clients, and then go out and do it yourself and nail it the first time.
Stellar, bro. That's stellar. That's really good. What do you think the number one skill you need when it comes down to business?
Sales.
Yeah.
Sales. Listen, this is going to sound a little funny. Sell first, figure it the fuck out later. Okay? Like sell first, figure it out later. Because listen, if I'm going to sell somebody a content package for $30,000, the key is getting enough capital to be able to build a team, right? Or else you're going to spend a month editing. It's like sell first, build later, right? So if I go sell a content package, now I can go build my editing team. Now I can go build my fulfillment processes and get everything done because I have the money to do it, and I'm not the only person doing it.
Right.
But if you're doing it backwards, then you're doing everything alone. You don't have enough money to hire great talent, and you're just stuck inside your business.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's really good. Do you think there's different sales strategies for like different kind of clients? Like say if you know someone, you already built a relationship, do you sell the same to someone that you just met, like doing that discovery call? Maybe they found you on Instagram DMs. Do you sell the same to those two people?
No.
Yeah.
I think it's completely different. When it's a friend, you sell from value, right? When it's somebody you don't know, you could sell from pain, right? Because you can figure out like, why are they there? Why are we talking on this call?
Right.
Oh, you want to make more money. Why aren't you making more money? Oh, it's because your marketing is really bad. Why is your marketing really bad? Oh, it's because the people you're working with right now, they don't know anything about marketing and you're wasting your marketing budget on them. Okay, why are you wasting your marketing budget on them? And why are we talking here today? Right? You just really dig into that. But when it's a friend, you can kind of just have a conversation like, yo, bro, like, why do you suck? Like, why aren't you making money?
You can be way more straight up.
Yeah, it's like referrals, you close them 90%.
Yeah.
Right? Regular people you never met before, you close them like 30.
How do you get good at sales?
The best way to get good at sales is to simply be really bad at sales.
Yeah.
And
reps, right?
Yeah. So
no
like
way around it. Like there's processes, you can watch videos and YouTube videos, listen to podcasts, but until you actually do it, you have to build those reps.
I'm not saying I'm the world's greatest at sales, but if you want to get good at sales, you got to get your first 100 no's, right? And then you got to figure out why people want your product, and then what's the outcome of that product. Stop selling the program and sell the transformation, right? And don't be afraid to go ask people for help. Look into groups like Hydra has a group where every Wednesday we meet up and we pitch each other, and your job is to say no and then they're trying to recover and you say no again, and you just dig as deep as possible and practice as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then people like Corey Jackson, they have group chats every single week, 3 times a week. The guy jumps on and answers questions and even does live role play with you to help you understand things. So if you want to get good at sales in 2025, you have to get your first 100 no's, you have to practice, and you have to find somebody you can ask really good questions to, and you have to know your prospects better than they know themselves.
Amen. Dang. Yeah, it's really good. Dude, I feel like we covered a lot here. A lot of good stuff. So here's a deep question. If you were dying on your deathbed and you had like one more sentence to say to your family, to your friends, and that was it, what would you say?
Man, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. I mean, I think I would say like something funny. I'd probably tell them a joke, right? I'd probably leave it on like a really bad dad joke.
Yeah. That's fair. You have any idea what it would be?
I have no idea what it would be.
Yeah. What kind of legacy do you want to leave here when you die?
I want to be the guy that cracked the code and never held the secret. You know, like, I want to be the guy that some 16-year-old kid will send me a DM and say, how did you do it? And I'll send them a 5-minute voice note on how I did it. You know, I want to be the guy that says no to anything that's not in alignment with who I am, so I can say yes to the things that are right. I want to be the guy that everybody that ever looked down at me at some point, everybody that ever doubted me, they look up to, because I genuinely just want what's best for everybody else in my community, my tribe, and in general.
I love that, bro. Do you want to shout yourself out? Instagram, where can people find you if they want to do business with you? Where can they find you?
If you want to do business with me, let's start with a conversation. Just reach out to me on Instagram. It's Camron, CAMRON, Johnson, JOHNSON.
Got you. That simple. Just send you a DM.
It's that simple.
Let's book a call.
Shoot me a DM. Check out my content. Let's have a conversation and let's just jam out for a little bit with all sales to the side, and let's see if this is even something that I can help you with.
Yeah.
And if it's not something I can directly help you with and guarantee you results on, then I'll send you to one of my best friends.
Heck yeah, bro. Cool, bro. This has been fun getting to know you like at the deepest level.
Dope.
And I'm excited for the future and what we have going on, and you know, you're a cool dude, bro.
Appreciate it, bro.
You got some really cool stuff going on. So.
Thank you for having me. And guys, if you're thinking about coming in and doing a podcast, don't think about it. Just go do it. Right now in 2025, we're in the middle of a trust recession, and that's not a joke, right? Like, I run ads to millions, thousands of people every day, and it's getting harder and harder and harder to acquire new business right now. So if you guys want to stand out, you need to build a strong personal brand, and you need to tell your life story, because people are buying from people, not just those gigantic companies, right? Because the best service you're ever going to get is with a small boutique company that cares more about your results, because if they don't get your results, they run out of business. So start creating content, create a personal brand, come in and do a podcast, get comfortable talking about yourself, turn that podcast into 30 clips, whatever, right? And then post as much as possible, because your competition right now, I guarantee you, if you go search everybody else in your mortgage office, there's probably like 1 or 2 people making content out of the 100 people there. So if you want to set yourself apart from your competition, why don't you become the 3rd person creating content? So then when your prospects are looking for a good mortgage agent that they can rely on, they find your content, and you talk about how you have a family. You talk about how you bought your first home. You talk about how you helped 1,000 people get into their first homes, right? Versus the other guys who are like blank slate social media.
Sure.
One ad that says, we help you get home, approved loan today, right? Versus the one guy that goes, I used to be a first home buyer just like yourself. If you need a loan, come to me. I won't write anything that we can't do, but I can guarantee you that you're going to get the best service and the best advice. And if you need anything else, I'll give you down to people that can help you. As simple as that.
Yeah.
Like, and just think about it. Are you going to swipe on the graphic, or are you going to swipe on the guy that's actually speaking from his experience, his life, what he wants to do, why he's doing what he does? So don't think about it. Just go do it.
Love it, bro. Love it. Cool, bro. Thanks for coming on, bro. Really appreciate you. What do you think about the place, by the way?
Guys, this place is next level. Like, look at this background. It's mature. It has great lighting. I look good, you know, and
Heck yeah.
the content's fire, and I love it. Like, I saw the original podcast house, and it was really great, but this is genuinely like a step up above that. And I love that you guys continue to innovate, invest deeper into your crafts, and continue to help your community. And these guys haven't came out with like 50 different offers. They got one, right? And it's to serve you guys and help you shoot your story and put that in on a podcast.
Yeah. Heck yeah, bro. Sweet, bro. We'll wrap it up. Cool. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Dude, appreciate you a lot.
That was good. That was really good.
It's the first pod. You got me sweating, bro. Some of that shit's embarrassing.